Kind-hearted man rescued a young swallow from the jaws of a python and bandaged the swallow's wounds. Under the meticulous care of the man's family, the little swallow quickly recovered. To repay the man for saving its life, the swallow sought a golden seed from the queen of swallows and presented the seed to the man. After receiving the seed, the man planted it in the ground, nourished by well water. The seed grew healthily at an astonishing rate, eventually covering the entire roof. In just half a day, it bore a gourd larger than the house. This delighted the man's family, thinking that such a large gourd would be enough to feed the whole family for several years. The next day, the man and his wife took up a large saw, preparing to cut it in half to save it as food for the winter. With hearts full of excitement, the family slowly sawed open the giant gourd, but as soon as they sawed halfway through, a lively tune emanated from inside the gourd. This made the family very curious, so they all pressed their ears against the gourd to listen. Just as they were absorbed in listening, the gourd began to glow with 7 colors. In the next second, the giant gourd exploded, spewing out a rainbow-colored mist. The family watched the scene in great shock. At this moment, a rainbow streaked across the sky. The originally dilapidated thatched cottage turned into a luxurious palace, magnificent and resplendent like the White House. In the blink of an eye, they became the wealthiest in the city. Just as the couple thought they were seeing things, the doors of the mansion slowly opened. Several swallows flew out from the mansion. They sprinkled golden powder on the man's family. The golden powder fell on the family, transforming their cheap cotton clothes into noble and luxurious silk garments. Even the little dog beside them wore a gold chain. The family exuded the air of the wealthy with every move. They walked into the mansion with excitement in their hearts. The interior of the mansion was even more luxurious. Not only were there beautiful gardens and ponds, the furniture and floors inside the house were made of gold. There were countless silks, satins, gold, and jewels. The grain in the granary filled the entire warehouse, enough to feed the whole village and his family for 100 years. However, the man's family did not become uncharitable because of their sudden wealth. Instead, they opened their granary and distributed the grain to the villagers. As for his wife, she even distributed expensive silks to the village women. The women were very grateful for the wife's gifts. Afterwards, the villagers left with their arms full. After thanking the man, they all left his home one by one. News of the younger brother becoming the richest man in the country overnight became known to the merciless older brother. To find out the reason for his younger brother's sudden wealth, the older brother, dragging his 300-pound body, quickly rushed to his younger brother's home. In no time, he arrived at the door of his younger brother's mansion. The rude older brother frantically smashed the front door. The older brother thought it was his younger brother opening the door, hurriedly knelt down to admit his mistake, begging for his younger brother's forgiveness. Only after being reminded by the cat did he realize that it was actually his niece who opened the door. The niece greeted her uncle warmly, but he did not appreciate it. Instead, he yanked off his niece's headscarf and threw it on the ground, stomping on it hard. Then he even pushed his niece away. The younger brother's wife respectfully welcomed him, but he did not give his younger brother and sister-in-law a kind look. Instead, he walked straight to the room and rudely damaged the door. Then he strode into the house, not watching his step. He slipped on the golden floor, falling flat on his back. Angered, he picked up something and started damaging the floor, and took the treasure in his hand as his own. At this time, he noticed the gold coins on the corner of the table. He picked up a gold coin and tested its authenticity. Seeing that the gold coin was real, he looked around. He found a gold treasure chest on the table. Without his younger brother's permission, he forcibly took the chest away. Upon arriving home, he couldn't wait to open the chest. Inside, there was actually a large chest full of gold coins. He pulled his wife's ear and told her about his younger brother's sudden wealth in order to obtain the swallow's golden seed. The next day, he built several swallow nests under the eaves of his own house, but he waited in vain on the roof. The swallows never came to build nests. It turned out that all the swallows were building nests and reproducing at his younger brother's house. So the shameless older brother came to his younger brother's house again, begging the swallows under the eaves to build nests at his house. The swallow couple, seeing his pitiful state, built a nest at his house and gave birth to 3 baby swallows. The older brother, seeing the time was ripe, bought a large python from the market, just so he could stage the scene of him rescuing the baby swallows. But the python he bought was farm-raised, with no attack power whatsoever. It had no interest in the swallows under the eaves. No matter how hard he pulled, the python still wouldn't budge. So in order to exert all his strength, he chose to hang upside down to pull the python. But due to the roof being old and in disrepair, the tiles under his feet came loose. The man accidentally slipped off the roof. The python's head hit the swallows. 2 baby swallows met their maker on the spot. The python wanted to take the opportunity to slip away, but the older brother stepped on the rope with with one foot. As a result, he was pulled down by the python, but he still wouldn't give up, intending to catch the python. Angered, the python bit his thigh. Seeing this, the wife quickly rushed out and carried her husband into the house. The python also took the opportunity to slip away. Afterwards, under his wife's treatment, the man finally managed to survive, but the man was not reconciled in order to be as rich as his younger brother. At night, the man quietly climbed up the ladder, approaching the swallow's house. He grabbed the baby swallow. Then, seeing no one around, he revealed an evil grin.